We're going to move on to the situation where you've got a velocity time graph, and I might ask you to create a position time graph from that. So this one's a little bit harder. People find it a little bit tougher to go, from this one to the other one. What you got to do is we got to figure out, we got to split this up into different time intervals. So from like this time to that time, you can kind of see the little boxes how they line up, right? So we want to split this up from, first off, 0 to 10 seconds. So from this tick to that tick. You can see at that point velocity is going to be equal to 0. Therefore, your displacement is also going to be equal to 0. So we can use that when we start making our position time graph. In the 10 second to 20 second time interval, we can use displacement equal to velocity times time, or find the area under the graph. Same thing, right? So we can do that, and we see that, okay, 10, negative 10 meters per second, because that's how far down it is, times 10 seconds, times our base, is going to give us negative 100 meters. Okay? And you can see that from now 20 to 30, velocity 0, so your displacement 0. And then 30 seconds to 50 seconds, so from this tick to that tick, it's going to be positive 10 times 20, so positive 200 meters. Okay, now we got to start graphing all this stuff. So we make a little table. You might find this helpful. So we're going to start off with saying, okay, position and time. So position and time, they're both going to be 0 to begin with, right? So 0 and 0. But then we said up to the 10 seconds, so when we got to this point, right, we said that was still 0. Our position was 0 at that point. So that's where I got that from. Then from the 10 to 20, so I kind of look more at like the 20 spot. So at 20, we said that our displacement was negative 100. At the 30 point, so we said that it was 0, right? Displacement of 0. So why do I have negative 100 written in there? Well, if you think about it, I just added 0, right? What we're doing is just adding up the displacements all the way along. So this would still be 100. The displacement was 0. So I'm still at a position of negative 100. I didn't move from that position. Okay, hopefully that made sense. And then if we keep on going, so for the 40 mark, well, the 40 mark we didn't actually look at, right? But from 30 to 50 we did. So let's just ignore the 40 for a second. If we went over here and say, okay, at the 50 mark, we said that it was 200. So we just went negative 100 plus 200. That gets me to positive 100. And I can kind of see, if I was going to graph the 40 here, that the right in the middle of negative 100 and positive 100 would be 0. Hopefully that all made sense. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Okay. And then all we got to do now, we've done the hard part now. Now all we got to do is plot it. So we've got, 0, 0 was our first point. At 10 seconds, it was still at 0. At 20 seconds, it was at negative 100. At 30 seconds, it was still at negative 100. And then at 40, we figured it was probably at 0 because it was half of in between 100 and negative 100. And then at 50 seconds, it was at positive 100. So that would be our position time graph. Okay, so that's going to be it for that video. We just definitely need to make sure we practice these problems because I know they can be a little bit tougher. And that's it for that video.